Stand by 30 seconds. This is Shuttle Launch Control at T-minus 2 hours, 5 minutes, and holding. At the present time, the closeout crew has arrived in the White Room at the access arm leading to the orbiter. Astronaut Lauren Shriver is the astronaut support pilot who is up there, and along with a suit technician and 2 other mechanical technicians. They're in the process of donning breathing apparatus, preparing to go into the orbiter to assure that the proper mixture of oxygen is present there for normal work. The purpose of the closeout crew is twofold. One, they put the astronauts into their seats and hook them up to the various instrumentation, their biomedical instrumentation, their life support system in the orbiter. They also prepare the door for closing, remove all of the extraneous material from the orbiter and from that door area, and prepare the access arm to be retracted prior to the launch. At the present time, back in the astronaut quarters, the crew is having breakfast at this time. They're having a traditional breakfast of orange juice, steak, eggs, toast, and coffee. They were awakened about 20 minutes ago when it was determined by Launch Director George Page that everything was going smoothly and that we were ready to proceed with the wake-up of the crew. After breakfast, they will be going into the suiting room where the biomedical instrumentation will be attached and that they will put on their pressure suits. At the present time, everything going very smoothly, both at the pad and back at the astronaut quarters. This is Shuttle Launch Control.
above all others. WDBO-FM, Stereo 92.
Thank you for listening to Central Florida's most relaxing music on WDBO-FM, Stereo 92. We hope that when your listening needs require more in-depth news and information, you'll listen to our sister station, WDBO-AM, at 58 on your AM dial. Local and area news is covered by Central Florida's most respected news team. World and national news is reported by the ABC radio network. You get weather from our chief meteorologist, Dave McLaughlin. Sports with veteran sports director Bill Stamper. Traffic information from Richard Bouchard. And on Wednesdays and Fridays, WDBO's critic at large, Tom Barry, reports on entertainment in the Central Florida area. For news and information, it's WDBO AM 58 on your AM dial. And for Central Florida's most beautiful, relaxing music, it's right here. WDBO FM, Stereo 92.
When more beautiful music is produced, you'll hear it first on WDBO-FM, Stereo 92.
Stand by 30 seconds. This is shuttle launch control at T-minus 2 hours, 5 minutes, and holding. At the present time, the closeout crew has finished removing the foam plastic covers which cover up the hatchway and some of the other hardware around the door area leading into the orbiter. These are protective coverings which are used during the period that the orbiter is just in a benign state in between a launch attempt. It's to provide for not having any damage occur to any of the areas up there. They do have the platform in place, which is used by the astronauts to crawl through the hatchway on their hands and knees. The hatchway is really quite small, just about 3 foot in diameter. And they are prepared now for closing that door at the time they have removed that little walkway. There is also a about 8 or 9 inch diameter air hose which flows air into the cabin area to ensure that the proper mixture of breathing air is present. At the present time, the astronauts are still in the breakfast room at the astronaut quarters. They're having their breakfast of steak, eggs, orange juice, coffee, and they will stay in that breakfast room until there has been a go for suiting from the launch director here in the Launch Control Center. Everything going very smoothly in all areas of preparation for this morning's launch. The countdown at T-minus 2 hours, 5 minutes, and holding. This is Shuttle Launch Control. Stand by 30 seconds. This is Shuttle Launch Control at T-minus 2 hours, 5 minutes and holding. This is a planned build-in hold with approximately 1 hour and 5 minutes remaining in it. At the pad, the closeout crew is making good progress in preparations for the astronauts to enter, and a go has been given for them to move to the suiting room. John Young and Bob Crippen are walking out of the breakfast area now on their way to the suiting room. The first thing that they'll be doing will be to have the biomedical sensors attached. They're looking very fit. A big smile on the face of Bob Crippen. John Young, who doesn't smile quite as much, does look quite happy to be moving into this phase of the preparations for the launch. They'll be having their biomedical sensors attached and then putting on their pressure suits and waiting for a go to move to the pad from Launch Director George Page. At the present time, everything going very smoothly in the countdown, looking for a liftoff on time at 7 a.m. this morning. This is Shuttle Launch Control. Stand by 30 seconds. This is Shuttle Launch Control at T-minus 2 hours, 5 minutes and holding. At the present time, everything going very smoothly. Here in the firing room, there are a number of people sitting behind the many consoles in several rows, keeping track of what's happening with the various elements of the launch vehicle during the countdown. This is something which will disappear during after the first few flights. On the Apollo launches, there were more than 500 people who were monitoring the various aspects of the vehicle systems. Because of the great advances that have taken place in the computer area, we only have approximately 150 who are monitoring a much more complex vehicle for this morning's launch. That will go down to approximately 50 or 75 by the time we have launched several of these, and the confidence in the system has grown and our understanding of the system. At the present time, everything going smoothly in our countdown. We have approximately 55 minutes remaining in this 2-hour build-in hold, which stands at T-minus 2 hours, 5 minutes and holding. This is Shuttle Launch Control. Stand by 30 seconds. This is Shuttle Launch Control at T-minus 2 hours, 5 minutes, and holding. At the present time, the astronauts are in the process of putting on their boots, which they'll wear during the flight. They already have put on their pressure suits. Astronaut John Young is having his boots adjusted at the present time, helping make sure that the pants to his pressure suit are at the right level. One of the technicians is in the process of checking the contents, moving something from John Young to Bob Crippen and putting it in one of the many pockets which are in the pressure suit, which contain the things which they need during the flight. Such things as their checklists and various other papers which are necessary are very handily arranged so that they are right where they need them when they want them. Astronaut Bob Crippen has just checked some of that and is the process of making sure that nothing is getting rumpled up as he pushes it into the pocket in the leg of that suit. Each of the astronauts has the NASA emblem on the right arm and an American flag on their left arms. They're wearing rather traditional looking black flight boots. And John Young, again, is checking some of those pockets to ensure that he has the right things in the right place. Prior to putting on their pressure suits, the astronauts were instrumented with the many biomedical sensors which they wear so that the doctors can tell what's happening to their heartbeat, their respiration, and their other vital signs during the flight. Also on the pad, even at the height of the problems which we had, which delayed the launch on our last attempt on Friday morning, their heartbeats were very, very low, approximately 75 heartbeats per minute. John Young putting on the white gloves and just about to put on his Snoopy hat, which he wears underneath his helmet. Everything going very smoothly in the countdown at the present time. We're at T-minus 2 hours, 5 minutes, and holding. This is Shuttle Launch Control. Stand by 30 seconds. This is Shuttle Launch Control at T-minus 2 hours, 5 minutes, and holding. At the present time, astronaut John Young has put on his space helmet, locked it in place, and as in the present time they are testing to make sure that that system is working properly. It has sort of a tightening device which at the neck, which is pulled down to ensure that we have absolute integrity. These are the suits which would protect them during the mission. Actually, the cabin pressure is controlled and the atmosphere, so that theoretically such a suit would not be needed. However, they are used as a safety precaution, and also because of the very high G-forces and that occur during the flight through the early part of the atmosphere. Out on the pad in the meantime, the closeout crew, consisting of astronaut Lauren Shriver, a suit technician, and several mechanical technicians, are in the process of continuing to prepare for the astronauts' arrival.
Go ahead.
They will probably be arriving at the pad just about 45-50 minutes from now. Preparations are going very well. Astronaut Lauren Shriver has been conducting switchless checks to ensure that all of the switches inside the cabin are in the proper positions for the ingress of prime crew members John Young and Bob Crippen. Out on the White Room area, everything is in readiness there. That is where the final preparations are made to the space suits, to the pressure suits that are worn by the astronauts, and
And OTC ASP, I'm ready to pick up then on 191, 192, 193. Roger.
Yes. There are a few cameras out there.
30 seconds. This is shuttle launch control. T-minus 2 hours, 5 minutes and holding. About 23 minutes remaining in this build-in hold as the astronauts John Young and Bob Crippen drive off toward the pad in the astronaut van. They came down, waved to the waiting crowd at the astronaut quarters, which are located in the ONC building here at the Kennedy Space Center, and got the cheers of the crowd as they came out, looking very happy that they are on their way to the pad for which they hope will be the final one on this flight, to enter the orbiter and then get on their way about 7 a.m. this morning. Out on the pad at the present time, everything is in readiness in the orbiter for their arrival. Astronaut Lauren Shriver has been there helping prepare, along with the suit technicians, mechanical technicians that form the closeout crew, which do the preparations necessary for their ingress, and then closing up the hatchway and readying the access arm so it can be swung away at the proper time in the countdown.